Hey everyone, I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer, and welcome back to another video about how the coronavirus has affected my life. And I want to talk about being a remote worker before the coronavirus happened and how it's affected me. So, I'm a remote worker because I think it suits me very well. I like messing with my computer. I like the file management makes me feel good inside when I do it right. And I just like connecting with people because for the past almost 5 years now, I've been making YouTube videos and I've just been exposed to remote working. So I got a job at Walmart when I moved out, and I decided I hated my job at Walmart, and I tried selling things on eBay, and that didn't work. So I found myself in freelance video editing, which it's freelancing, but it's remote freelancing, right? So instead of going to offices and editing stuff for people, they share me the files over internet. I have clients in Europe and the United States right now, and there's one client who he's a new client. I think he's in India, I want to say, but I don't know. So, anyways, I have clients all over the world, and we talk to each other and we just get stuff done. And I started doing it in October of 2019. That's when I really started doing freelance video editing, and it's my full-time income now. And it's been crazy watching people struggle through remote work and trying to figure things out in Zoom calls and stuff like that, because things like Zoom and Google Docs and file sharing are all things that I already knew existed and I already know the nuances of. So, um I would say it's harder for me to find new work. It's way harder for me to find new work. In fact, all the different ways that I use to find work, people, they find them too, like contacting over Twitter and LinkedIn or using a site like Upwork or Fiverr. And so there's more workers and more competition and less jobs, for people like me, which I'm not saying it's like a situation of like poor me. At the end of the day, if I don't get hired for a job, that's my fault. 100%. I have to adapt to an overflux of workers and underflux. Too many jobs, too little jobs, the prices. I got to react to all that, and it's my responsibility. So it's been harder to find new jobs, and so I've actually been a little bit isolated. Instead of spending that time finding new jobs, I work on my own skills. All this stuff about like skill building and relationship building with your family and learning new skills and cleaning. I'm doing that too, because part of my responsibility and part of my business is finding new clients. And for me, I'm in a spot where I don't need to find new clients. It's more of an ROI for me to take all that client finding skill and time and put it into skill building and building relationships. It's just how it is. I guess a good example I could give is one of my methods, which is Twitter. When I do it right, I probably get 5 to 10 DM sessions per hour. That's kind of what I do, meaning I get 10 responses. Now I get 3. And that was 3 going through all of the available tweets of like, hey, I'm looking for a video editor, right? So that was 3 responses after an hour going through all the relevant things that I could find on Twitter. Whereas before, I could get 10 responses in an hour and not go through all the tweets that I was looking through, or LinkedIn posts or stuff like that. So, like, all my sources that I use for jobs, I went through it in about 2.5 hours, and that was enough for the whole week. Where I used to be able to spend 1 to 2 hours a day trying to find work. So there's less work, there's just less available work. And so I spend that extra time skill building, relationship building, making more videos for YouTube. That's getting workflows down. Overall, I think it's a good thing that people are learning about remote work, right? Because, like, I guess an example of this would be graphic design. Okay, this is how I'm thinking about it, right? It used to be you email someone about your designs, you send them messages, you send them clips, you know, or you go to the workplace and send it to them. But if you're a graphic designer, like I made a YouTube thumbnail, I could Zoom call with you live and share the screen, and you can tell me exactly what you wanted. That's a thing that people know about now, and I think that's important to know, because if you're a graphic designer, you could tell your boss, hey, this 8-hour workday, I could do by myself. And for me, one of the reasons I did remote work versus in an office is because I get to stay at home. There's things that help me out with productivity, okay? I have 2 computers. I'm very lucky to own 2 computers that can edit video. So on this computer that I'm recording on, I'll set up a rendering, right? So if a video takes 20 minutes to render, then I get on my laptop and I'm like, all right, I can do this task in 20 minutes, right? Or I go get the dishes done, or I go take a nap or something, right? I'm getting tasks done faster. And then if I have all this stuff done, I'm not stressing about it. And if the boss or a client needs an extra phone call, an extra talk, an extra revision, I can take care of it because I don't have all the things at home to deal with. Also, I'm at home. Like, I like being around my cats, and I like being around my girlfriend when she's home, when I'm working. Like, yeah, I'm working, but I'm at home. Yeah, I sometimes get stir crazy, but that to me is worth the sacrifice, and I do miss the human connection sometimes when I worked at Walmart with some of the employees, but it's like, I just think that this more casual at-home work, it really fits me, especially as an introvert, right? Because if I want to talk to you and I'm talking to a client and I really don't want to do a face-to-face interaction with them, I can start a text conversation. Or if I have some very important questions that I need context on, I can do a session with just a mic or face cam, whatever the case may be. I can also, because I'm a video editor, I can record things. So instead of having to go through voicemails, I have my PC right here and I know where all my files are. So if you want to give me a bunch of notes real fast, instead of writing a document or recording it yourself, I just we're on a Zoom call. Let me give you directions real quick. All right, recording screen, go, say the thing, There's just so many different things that, I'm used to. And it's awesome. Like, I don't know it's hard for me to describe how awesome this is. I think this is good for the older generation too, because I'm a firm believer, and this might be just because I'm young or because I've seen how complacent some people can be, but I am a firm believer that not learning new technology, there's a factor of just pure laziness that it's inside. I think that especially in this day and age where 15 years ago, think of the internet 15 years ago, none of this existed. YouTube didn't exist, Instagram, Facebook, we had MySpace, and YouTube was getting born, right? So I think that forcing isn't a good way to do it anyways, but I think a lot of the older generation is really learning the utility of a computer. And that's going to be good for, for instance, my generation, because my generation, instead of having to teach an old person or change a setting for them on their computer, they're stuck with their computer. It's going to save me time, right? To be like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to Google these questions properly, and you're going to learn. Or old people that I heard family members from other countries, they only write letters. And now that they can't write letters, they learn Zoom and they can actually see their kids' faces live, things like that. That I just think teaching the older generation is a good, positive thing. It sucks that it's forced upon them. Like, I don't like that. But it's good for them to learn. And I think it's also good for the younger generation, because we learn about teaching people that don't like learning new technology. We learn to teach them how technology works. And if we learn how to do that, then we can teach our kids, and then our kids learn how to teach technology. And then if we become that older generation that has problems, our kids know how to teach us the technology in the right way, in a good way, so that we can actually learn, versus hey, here's my phone, change the setting, go. Like that's what I actually started doing before this thing hit. I started like trying to explain to my mom, like, hey, come here, you need to learn this, right? I think I told her, I'm like, I think I told her about like you need to learn how to Google better or something like that. Like I was just like tired of, it's the whole like teach a man how to fish versus give him a fish for a day or teach him how to fish for a day. It's the same concept. So I just got mad at changing my mom's settings. I'm like, look, you learn. No, I'm not going to change it for you. You learn. So that's kind of where I'm at with the coronavirus quarantine type thing. Even though I'm a remote worker, I'm really, really, really lucky to have a job right now. I just see everyone losing jobs around me, and I'm just like, it makes me more grateful than I already was to have the jobs that I have. I recently had to drop a large portion of work for a client because it was too much, and I needed that time for other projects. And I just kind of thought, I was like, wow, everyone else is losing jobs and I'm dropping work. And then I kind of remembered, someone else is going to get that job who needs it more than me. So it's silver lining. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm a remote worker before the coronavirus. I did it before it was cool, before the quarantine. If you guys need help, reach out. Even though it's normally a YouTube comment section that it's the comment section, I can call you on Skype or something like that if you need help trying to figure things out. Or I can link you YouTube videos that teach you. Most of the time, that's what I usually do. But if you guys need help at all, let me know. And I'll see if I can connect you with the right people or send you tutorials. But yeah, that's my life in the coronavirus going on right now. Um, it sucks, man. I think that as humans, we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot, actually, about everything related to this remote work, quarantining, staying healthy, dealing with viruses. We're definitely going to find if a country has issues with its healthcare system, whether it's over providing, under providing, infrastructure, not being trained in the right way, countries are going to figure out where their weak points are in their healthcare system for sure. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. And once again, don't be hesitant to reach out to me on anything if you want to learn how to do remote work. I got you. So, yeah, I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer. I suck just as bad as you do at video games and staying quarantined. And I'll see you guys in the next one.